Hey, what's up everybody? This is Chicken Possible back with another Xbox Game Pass monthly quest guide. Today we're going to be working on Minecraft Dungeons. This is worth 75 Microsoft Rewards points, and we're going to be earning 4 achievements such as the Expert Explorer and more. We're actually not going to earn that achievement in particular. We're going to earn some that you can get closer to the beginning of the game. And I actually did an achievement guide earlier this week for Minecraft Dungeons. So I'm going to put a link to that in the description of this video where you can earn one of the achievements. But I'll talk about it here in just a moment. If you followed along with that with me, you may actually already have a character, so you'll want to start a new character so that you can go back and do the tutorial, because we're going to grab an additional achievement that's available in the tutorial. So go ahead and get started with that. We'll start up in the SQUID coast here, and close to the very beginning of the tutorial level, the SQUID coast, there is a fancy treasure chest. So that's going to be one of the 4 achievements we're going to be working on. We're going to get the ones called Fancy That, Wooden Sword, Out of the Woods, and The Plot Thickens. So for the Fancy That achievement, we're basically going to try to move over to another island that's just kind of southeast of the starting point. So if you go over here to the right and then kind of curve back around behind this tree, there is a little point that you can roll across. I was trying to figure out how to jump into the water. There's actually not any jumping in this game. There is rolling, but there's no actual jumping, so you can't just like come out here and jump into the water. But if you move down just a little bit, you can see on the mini map where the location of this other island is. So we're going to roll across this gap here to get to the other island. There we go, we made it across, and there is one of the fancy treasure chests over here. So we'll press A to open that, and that'll unlock our first of 4 achievements. This is the Fancy That achievement for 10 gamer score. Find and open your first fancy treasure chest, so that's done. There is one other achievement that you can get basically just by completing this tutorial level. That's the one that I did earlier in the week. So like I said, check out the description for that. But basically you just need to finish this tutorial level. So we'll go ahead and do that here. You're going to come across some enemies, some basic enemies here. You'll be able to collect emeralds and other various items when you kill the zombies. Like it says there on the upper right section of the screen, you're just going to press A for any sort of close combat. So just kind of slash with your sword when you press A. And we'll have one other important attack that we'll learn in just a minute, which is basically being able to shoot arrows, which you'll want to practice with that, and you'll get plenty of practice if you follow along with me here, moving through these first few levels. Because they're making it really easy in the tutorial here. They don't have a lot of enemies that are fighting against us, but it will get more intense as time goes on. So you'll press right trigger to shoot at that zombie that's kind of blocking the bridge with his bow and arrow there. You actually don't even have to come over to this section. I'm just kind of hunting around looking for other treasure chests and things like that. One of the achievements that you might think would be easy is collecting a bunch of emeralds in this game, but the first number of emeralds that you have to collect is fairly high in order to get an achievement. So while you will see me collecting emeralds in this guide, that's not one of the achievements that I end up working towards, because like I said, it's a huge number of like thousands of emeralds that have to be collected. So that's not what we're going to focus on here. We're going to do some of the other objectives that are available, some of the other achievements. Follow the golden marker that you'll see on screen. You can press A to open a chest or interact with anything. So we're picking up some more arrows here. We've got 117 at the moment, so that's awesome. Keep following the little golden markers. Those give you a good indication of the direction that you need to be going to proceed with the objectives in these levels. So that's always a good indicator of where to go if you're lost or not sure where to go next. All right, at this point we've got a little magician that pops up, and he starts spawning some tougher zombies that we have to destroy. So you have to hack through, I believe, 4 of these guys. And then the enchantment's lifted, and you might level up. You're going to level up at various times as you're fighting different zombies. So that's just something that happens, and you earn some enchantment points that you can use on things. Nothing big to really worry about with that. But it does show you at this point that you can enchant gear, and we've got this fireworks arrow that we can assign to a button. So basically, we're just going to press A to assign it, and it will get placed in our X button slot. There are 3 different sort of special items that you can have assigned to different buttons. Okay, and we did an enchantment there. Not really too crucial that you understand this screen all that much at this point, but basically that's the screen where you're sort of picking the items that you currently have out and are ready to use. So we've got the sword, the bow and arrow, and then on that X button, if you look at the bottom, we've got the fireworks set up to where we can use that. All right, and we've got our second achievement, which is Wooden Sword, defeat 50 mobs, which I think a mob is just, I'm not sure if it's a group of enemies or just a single monster. You probably won't get that on your first time through the tutorial. You'll probably get it as we push a little bit further into the guide. The only reason you see me getting that one this early in this playthrough is that I had already defeated some enemies when I went through the tutorial the first time. So if this is your second time through the tutorial, you might get it here. If not, you should get that one in just a little while after you defeat some more monsters. You don't really have to go over into this area. I'm just exploring a little bit more. And all right, now we're going to head back up towards the golden indicator there, the golden waypoint. And at this point, we're basically just trying to complete the objective that's at the upper right, setting up camp outside of town. So if you have not already completed the tutorial, you'll be getting your second achievement right now. So you'll have 2 out of the 4 that you need, possibly 3 if you've killed enough monsters at this point. So we're getting there. We're getting close. All right, at this point, we finished the Squid Coast. We're heading back to the camp. And you might be getting a chest with some items at this point that you can unlock. Don't have to worry too much about that. The next achievement that we're going to move on to is the Out of the Woods achievement, which is basically the next level of the game that we have to complete. So let's head back to camp after we open our chest. Move up to the north of the current position, and you'll see the Mission Select map. You can press A, and then Creeper Woods. That's the one that's, we basically have to complete this level in order to unlock the next achievement. So for some of you, this will be the 3rd achievement. For some of you, this will be the 4th achievement. So we're going to hop over to Creeper Woods and finish up that level. All right, so the first objective once we start out at the woods here is to free the villager in the caravan area. So if you head up to the northwest, you'll find the villager up there. So again, we're just kind of following along with the golden waypoint, trying to find the next objective on the map here. And you'll notice the enemies do start to get a little bit tougher. At the same time, you'll start to get some new items from them. You'll get different things like food, potions that make you quicker, potions that make you stronger. But most, pretty much all of the potions, I think, have just a temporary effect. So there's one shadow potion that seemed pretty useful to me that makes you basically invisible to enemies for a little while. So you'll see that one, and it'll give you kind of a purple effect. Hopefully we'll pick up one of those again in just a minute, so you can see the effect of that. And there's also a speed potion that will speed you up and make you move more quickly. As I was playing through this level, I tended to fight against just about all of the enemies. You may want to do it a little bit faster than I do it here, just to basically all we're trying to do is complete this level. There's not really anything else you need to do along the way. And there's that shadow potion I was talking about. That can be pretty handy for speeding quickly past enemies and moving on to the next objective without getting spotted. So, but if you want to, you can hack and slash like I'm doing here and get through all of the enemies that you encounter along the way. That's totally fine too. You'll tend to collect a lot more items if you're destroying more enemies, because that's where most of the items come from. It's from downed enemies. All right, here's our villager here. He's just standing inside of a fence. Why he can't just jump over the fence and free himself, I have no idea. But anyway, there you go. He's free now. So the next objective is to find the caravan, and click A there to pick up some more arrows. I probably should be shooting more arrows at this point with the right trigger, but I was doing fine with the hacking and slashing on this level. As you get into the next level, you'll probably want to learn more about the archery and start to practice more of the archery, because keeping your distance is good sometimes against some stronger enemies, especially when they're also shooting at you and throwing things at you. But yeah, this one's kind of a hack and slash level, so you should be fine to just slash with your sword for the most part. You see me again, kind of exploring a little bit, just seeing what else I can find, seeing if I can find treasure chests and things. But my recommendation would be to move as quickly as possible through this. Just head towards the objectives, get the objectives done, move on, and grab that achievement. All right, we're encountering a lot of the little white archer guys at this point. So yeah, I would caution you not to move in a straight line when you're fighting them. Kind of zigzag a little bit, and then they'll have a harder time shooting you. This TNT pickup that I've got on my head at the moment is basically like a grenade. So you can throw that at somebody with just like that right there with the right trigger, and then it'll go off after a minute. So that's a very handy item to pick up. Especially if you're fighting against like a boss, or you see a big cluster of enemies coming up, you can really take good advantage of that TNT item. All right, you can see we're starting to encounter the spiders here, so just be careful, kind of similar to the archers. Just kind of move around, don't move in straight lines, or else they'll snag you with their webs. So just kind of mix it up on the movement end, so that you can not get snagged by them. One important thing to notice about the pause menu in this game, when you're looking at your enchantments and items, is that it doesn't appear to actually pause the gameplay like you might expect. So you want to make sure, if you're working on like enchanting items or selecting different items to carry with you, that you don't just that you don't do that at a time when there are lots of enemies around, because the enemies will actually continue to try to destroy you while you're standing there. So you don't want to be left at the pause menu with people attacking you. So find a safe spot to do that in, basically. All right, when we get to this section, you'll have 5 different villagers that you need to run around and rescue. Basically, just press the A button next to their fences, and that'll allow them to escape. So just move around to whichever of the golden waypoints you prefer. You can do these in whatever order you want to. You've just got to set all 5 of them free. All right, there we go, and we have unlocked the achievement Out of the Woods, Complete Creeper Woods. So, yeah, that may be the third achievement or the fourth achievement, depending on where you guys are, whether you finished the tutorial with me last week or not. So if you still have one more achievement to work on, let's go ahead and load up Pumpkin Pastures. The next achievement that we're going to do is to finish Pumpkin Pastures and also to finish Soggy Swamp. So we got 2 levels to run through. Like I said, don't worry too much about collecting. All we're trying to do is finish the levels. I'm going to skip to some of the more difficult spots. So this is the boss at the end of the first level. So there's an evoker. You can see he's sort of a magician that summons different little traps out of the ground and little flying evil pixie guys. So try and move around as much as you can on this. Use those health potions if you've got them with the left bumper, and try and basically stay out of the way of his traps. Or it's probably the big thing I would suggest. Didn't actually die. You can see I got down to about a third health against him. Just keep moving. Move like a butterfly, sting like a bee, like Muhammad Ali said. So that's the strategy at the end of that level. Then we'll head back to camp. I'm not going to show all of these levels because it's basically just sort of more of the same sort of strategy. I would say make sure you've got your items upgraded as well as you can. You know, choose the most powerful sword that you've got, choose the most powerful bow that you've got. And then we're going to move on to Soggy Swamp. This will be the second level that we need to complete to unlock that fourth and final achievement. It's interesting to me that they put 2 level completions into a single achievement, but that's how this one's set up. So we'll go ahead and knock that out as well. I'm going to skip to difficult parts in Soggy Swamp. We're not going to show the whole level again. As you get into this section, there's an enemy called the Enderman, basically the Slenderman who's in here. So kind of like Slenderman, if you're when you're not looking at him, that's when he comes after you. So try and just turn around quickly and move as he's about to hit you, and then come back and hit him. Seems to be the strategy that works best. You'll see I kind of move out of the way, come back and smack him. So let him get close, move, and then hit him on the backswing, I guess. You'll see me wearing the little magician robe at this point as well, so you may pick up outfits along the way that will give you extra health or stamina or power. So you can see I picked up one right here, the evocation robe. So take advantage of that stuff. Make sure you're wearing and using the most powerful stuff that you've got. You can see I upgraded to the level 7 robe there. And I'm using a different bow than I started the game with. So yeah, just kind of monitor this every once in a while. Hit the menu button and check out your items that you've got, and make sure you're using the best items that you possibly can that do the most damage and give you the most protection. Like I said, it does not pause the game though, so if there are enemies that are around you right now while you're in this menu, they may very well be attacking you. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it in the background when that's going on, but just something to be aware of. Do it at a calm moment when nobody's around. So. All right, another item you may be able to pick up along the way during this level is this TNT. If you can hang on to this till the very end of the level, that would be amazing. I tried my best to hang on to it, but I eventually ended up accidentally pressing the right trigger trying to fire an arrow, and I threw the TNT away. But if you can hang on to your TNT, I would definitely recommend doing that, because the boss on this level is difficult, let's say. It might take you a try or two. This is actually my second playthrough on this level, so I died and lost all my lives and got a game over the first time through it, basically just because of the final boss. He is intense. It's a living cauldron that casts spells and creates enemies all around you. It's pretty nuts. He also makes a fire that appears, that surrounds himself and can damage you. So we'll go ahead and jump to that fight now so you can see how it ended up playing out in the end for me. I nearly lost the second time through, but you'll see the strategy that ended up ultimately working for me here. So I've got about 147 arrows at this point, so that's great. Keeping your distance from this thing is good. I mean, you can definitely run up and take some swings at it, but then the enemies start to swarm on you. So my strategy was kind of keep moving, like on that previous boss. Try to use cover where I can. Stay away from as many of the projectiles and the enemies as you can, because your health is... It disappears quickly against this boss and all of this barrage of attacks. So, running around as much as I can. There's that fire I was talking about. And he just keeps spawning more and more enemies, especially these little purple bubble things that spit flames. So you have all kinds of guys coming after you on this. I wasn't doing too well on my arrows. The problem with the arrows is you can end up targeting, if you're facing the slightly wrong direction, you can end up just targeting something that you don't really intend to target. So you have to be really kind of spot on with your direction of your shooting. You have to be completely facing forward right at the enemy that you intend to actually shoot. So you can see my health is getting pretty low here. Even though I'm moving around, I'm still, and I don't have, oh wait, I do have one health potion left. So now would be a good time to take that with the left bumper. You can't stand behind this podium here, that kind of helps quite a bit. And I obviously didn't use the health potion, so I died there. All right, now you can see if you do die, the cauldron still has its health removed. So even though you've got full health, the cauldron was not able to regenerate its health. So that's something at least. So, so we're taking some more ranged shots, but I'm getting shot like crazy from that position too. So I'm trying to find a spot where I can get some good ranged attacks in on this, because I know if I keep getting in too close, I'm gonna die. So I'll show you that that position that I ultimately ended up using in just a moment. I've got him down to about a third of his health at this point. So I can tell it's not safe right there, so I took one swipe at him. And another death. So we got one life left. We're gonna make it happen this time, I promise. It is. I know it looks grim. All right, so this is my position that I ultimately decided on, is trying to stand right here, kind of to the, basically straight to the right. And try to keep your distance, because all the little bubble guys keep appearing. You can take some of those out if they get close to you. Use those health potions if you have them, if your health starts getting low. And try to make sure you're facing right at the cauldron, so that when you do make your shots, if they can get past these barrage of purple guys, they will actually hit the cauldron and do some damage. And there we go, we finally got it. All right, and basically we're just moving to the end of the level here, and as soon as we go through this door, that will count as our second level towards that achievement. The Plot Thickens for 20 gamer score, and we've completed Pumpkin Pastures and Soggy Swamp. And there we go, we've got the quest ready to turn in, so we'll go ahead and hop over to the Game Pass app and turn that in, and we've got our 75 Microsoft Rewards points. And that'll do it for Minecraft Dungeons. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, please be sure to click the subscribe button on YouTube and hit that bell for notifications. You can also find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Microsoft Rewards and achievement guides, and I'll see you in the next one.